Hi guys, and welcome back. Today we will talk about something that a lot of people were excited about. It is the Procreate 5.2 update. So everyone is crazy about the new 3D feature, but that's definitely not the only one. So in this video I want to talk to you a little bit about the features that come with the Procreate now. And of course we have to start with the 3D painting. Now you can download your own models, or Procreate actually gives you the standard set of 3D models itself. So if you go to Actions and go to Help, you can click on this What's New section, and it will take you to the pretty cool window with the video playing on the background, showing you what is new on Procreate. So you don't have to watch my video, but please do. But here you can also download your models. I already downloaded my models. They are in my library in the separate folder. So the Procreate comes with the pretty standard selection of 8 objects. I think they're pretty cool to start with. So let's open up this ways to see what it looks inside. So once you're in this 3D mode, you can rotate your object, you can move it around, you can even look inside. That's pretty cool. You can see everything. That's just nice. You can zoom out, you can zoom in, and just play around with your object, move it all over the canvas, and so you can easily paint on it. And speaking of painting, you can paint your object directly in 3D mode. Just take your brush and start painting. It's pretty obvious, it's pretty intuitive. You can move your object around, you can zoom in to draw some details, you can zoom out. So it's just like drawing in regular mode. And while this is cool, sometimes it's a little hard to draw details on the 3D model. So I would suggest turning on the 2D mode, which you can do by going to Actions and going to 3D and turning on the 2D mode. So to me, this is a little more natural. It's a little easier to understand, and it's just easier to draw on. However, the 2D mode also has its problems. So when you're here, you'll see parts of your model, and you can draw them directly, but every time you draw, you have to guess which part you're drawing on. And while the vase is it's easy to understand which part it is, there are other models which might be a little harder. And let's go and check this roller skater, for example. So let's turn on the 2D mode. And here you are. Okay, this is way more complicated. I honestly have no idea which part of the roller skater it is. What am I looking at? So if you don't want to guess, you have to turn on the reference image. So go to Actions, then Canvas, and turn on the reference. And here you go. Here is your 3D model, and you can move it around, but it just replicates the 2D mode in 3D model. So you can start drawing on the on your 2D mode, and here we go. That's the miracle. It appears on the 3D model as well. So now when you draw, you actually know where you're drawing in regards to the 3D model. And I just think it's pretty cool. So thank you, Procreate, because while you still need to do some guessing, because maybe try out this section before you actually draw, so you know where you are exactly. This is way easier with the reference image. Okay, now let's go back to the 3D mode, because we have one more thing to talk about. So here we go. The reference is still there. So now let's talk about the layers. When you open up your layers, you will see that your model is actually divided into different parts, and each part comes with 3 layers: the color, roughness, and metallic. And the roughness and metallic layers are responsible for how rough or shiny your object would be. And these layers work a bit like layer masks, and you can add roughness and metallic look by painting them with white, and removing the effect by painting them with black. So I'm trying currently here a metallic look. Maybe here it doesn't really shows the potential, but let's go on this metal parts of the roller skater, and we will try to paint those so you can see a little better what I'm talking about. So let's choose metallic, and I'll go ahead and paint this part. So it's definitely working. It becomes more shiny, more reflective. I'm not sure if you can see, hopefully you can, but it definitely becomes more shiny. You see? And if I try black, it will remove the shiny effect and it will be more matte and less metallic. So now let's go and try the roughness layer. Let's turn it on, and I will first go with white. So I will be adding the effect of roughness. I'll be adding more roughness, and you see my metallic part will become less reflective. But if I will go back and change my colors and I will paint with black, it will remove the roughness, making the surface smoother and more reflective. And now if I move around my object, you can definitely see the effect. It is definitely reflective, it is definitely metal, it is definitely smooth, so it's not rough surface, and you can see the reflection in this thing. And that's actually another thing that we have to talk about. And to do that, let's choose a different model. Let's go with the helmet. And the thing we have to talk about is the Lighting Studio. To access the Lighting Studio, go to Actions, 3D, and find Edit Lighting and Environment. This will open up this Lighting Studio where you can see the lighting situation that is currently going on. Immediately you will notice these light boxes that are all around your object, and you can actually move them around. So by tapping and taking them with you anywhere on the canvas, you move them. You can move them closer or further away from your subject, and you just put them in any directional location you want. You can also change their color and brightness by tapping on them. So you can change the hue, so you can change the color essentially. You can change the saturation, how saturated you want it to be, and you can change the intensity. So very low intensity, very high intensity, and if you notice, my light became very, very bright, sort of like a spotlight. And if I don't want it to be that bright, I will go back just by tapping on it and changing my intensity to normal again. And if you find yourself in a situation where you need more lights, then you can simply click Add Lights and it will add the light box into your drawing. Click one more time, you'll get a new one. Oops. Well, actually, you can also find yourself in a situation where you have too many lights and you are not able to add one. So in this case, you would probably need to delete one of your existing ones. And to do that, just tap on it one more time and the same menu will open and you can delete your light. If you want simply duplicate the light you already have, click Duplicate and it will create the same light that you already have. Pretty cool feature, pretty cool studio. But if you're not excited about it yet, there's one more feature we have to talk about, and that's environment. So if you click on environment, you will get this 11 natural and artificial lighting setups, lighting environments. You can click on any of them and it will change the surrounding of your object. However, you can't really see any environment changes unless your object is super shiny. So you see the background color changing, but no real surroundings. So let's click Done and let's go and change the helmet, make it a little more metal. I'll choose my metallic layer and I'll start painting it with white, making it more shiny, giving it more metallic look. And now you can actually start seeing the reflection in it. And if I turn around my helmet, now when it's all shiny and metallic, you can see the reflection clearly in it. So let's go back to the Lighting Studio and try different environments. Let's get city. So we'll see the city intersection. If we go back and change to the nightlife, then we'll see the night completely change the setting. And let's choose beach, because who doesn't want to be in the beach right now? If we go back to the 3D mode, we will see the reflection in our subject because it's shiny. Okay, and that would be all for the 3D update. Now let's go and see what's going on with the rest of the Procreate, and we should probably start with the brush settings because there are some pretty cool updates that I think one of my favorites. And the first update I want to talk about is actually brush memory. It allows you to save the exact brush size and opacity as well with just one tap. And I think many creatives will love this new function because it helps you to have the consistency in your drawing, and it also saves you a lot of time. So to find this feature, go over to the sidebar and you will see the little window that will pop up when you use it. It has the preview of the brush, but also has a little plus sign that you need to tap. And when you tap it, it will save the size of your brush. So now you can just move around your slider and it will snaps to that place. You can save up to 4 different brush sizes, and it's very convenient, especially when you have to go back and forth between your drawing. So it helps you definitely with the consistency. But if you find yourself in a situation where you need to delete this mark, simply tap on the little minus sign and it will remove your mark. And the cool thing is that you can also do the same exactly thing to the opacity. While the feature doesn't seem like a big deal, I'm actually very excited about it, and I think it's very handy. It's very useful, and especially when you have a big and complicated drawing and you need to go back and forth with different size brushes, but you also want to have the consistency in your drawing, right? So it's just very nice feature that saves you a lot of time as well. And I think a lot of creatives will use this feature, and it will become one of those, most popular Procreate features. Another update in brushes that I'm currently in love with is recent brushes. So when you open up your brushes, you can find a separate section at the very top called recent brushes. And if you click on it, it will take you to the list of the brushes you have recently used. If you have a specific brush that you use a lot and you want it to be at the top of your list, you can pin it by sliding to the left and clicking pin. Now it will go to the top of the list and it will have this little star in the corner, which essentially means that's your favorite brush and it will stay there all the time. If you slide your brush one more time to the left, you will find another feature called Find. If you click on it, it will take you to the brush folder where this specific brush is located. I mean, how convenient it is. Overall, honestly, this is one of my favorite features of the new Procreate update, because it is so simple, yet it is so helpful. So you can't really help it but love this feature. And the last but not the least is the stroke stabilization. If you go to the brush studio of any brush, you will find a new section called Stabilization. And if you press on it, it will take you to the whole menu. So remember how we used to have just one streamline? Yeah, okay, now we have the whole menu to play around. So let's try it out. I will increase the streamline amount by 15%, let's say, and try to draw. Well, wait, let me clear my pad and just try one more time. So I will draw the line, and it's a wobbly line. I mean, it's a shame I can't really draw a straight line, so I will draw these wobbly lines. They're not smooth, they're not good lines. We can actually fix it now. If you go to the stabilization and increase the amount, you will see that my lines become smoother and less wobbly. So by increasing the amount, we make the lines straighter. So now if I draw a line, it is almost perfect. It doesn't have any wobbles, it is almost straight, so it is very helpful feature. I'll show you one more time. Ta-da! The motion filtering works pretty much the same as the stabilization. It also makes your line less wobbly, so let's try it out. If I increase the amount, you see the lines become straighter. Just one thing to keep in mind is try not to overdo this, because if you have too much of a stabilization or too much of the motion filtering, then your lines will be completely straight, so you won't be able to draw with them anything. Let's say I want to draw a circle, and instead of the circle I get this weird line, which is definitely not a circle. I don't even know what it is. But if I decrease the motion filtering and stabilization, now I will be able to draw more freely. And now while we're here, we have to talk about one more thing, which is a drawing pad. It also got some changes. First of all, let me just clear it. But if you click one more time on drawing pad, you will see the new feature called 3D preview. If you turn it on, you will immediately get this sphere, which is a 3D as we see. And essentially, the 3D preview will allow you to see how your brush would look on a 3D object. So you can paint directly on the sphere. You can also now go back and change the colors, which is a pretty nice feature, but that's pretty much all for the drawing pad. And the last big update in brushes that we have to talk about is the material brushes. If you go to the Brush Studio settings, you'll find a new tab called Materials. It comes with two sections, metallic and roughness. Let's adjust the metallic first. So I will go and turn it on to the max, and I'll start painting on my sphere. So I'm painting with black, but maybe let me go and change my color to white so we can see it a little better. So now you can definitely see the effect a little more. You see it's a little more shiny now. It sort of becomes more metallic. But let's go over to the roughness menu and see what's there. So there's also the amount line, and if I decrease it, you'll see that my sphere becomes more reflective because it's less rough. But if I increase it back on, then it becomes more matte and I can't see anything. Pretty much to the material brushes, it just allows you to change the way your brush will behave on a 3D object. If you want to see how your brush would look like with a different color, just go back to the drawing pad and choose whatever color you want. I'll go with magenta and just paint on it. That's pretty much for the material brushes, and that's pretty much all for the brushes update in general. There's just one little thing that we kind of forgot to talk about in the stabilization section, and that's stabilization memory of the brush. And if you go to actions, then preferences, find pressure and smoothing and tap on it. It will open up the menu where you can play around with the stabilization and motion filtering, and all the changes that you make will apply to all Procreate brushes, so you don't have to go back to a specific brush and change it for the stabilization for it. Instead, all of your brushes will come with the settings. The new update also came with the pretty cool accessibility features, and I'm glad that Procreate is for everyone. So to access those features, go to Actions, find Help, and click on Advanced Settings. It will take you to the settings menu, and you can scroll down and find the accessibility section. Turn on the single touch gesture companion and go back to the Procreate. You immediately notice this little companion that is on your screen now. You can move it around the canvas, and it comes with functions like rotate, so you can rotate with just one hand, also move around the canvas and fit the screen. It also has undo and redo button, and overall this is a pretty cool feature because if you work with just one hand, then this way it's more comfortable and saves some time. Now let's go back to the accessibility menu and turn on the color description notification and feedback sound. Another accessibility feature that we have to talk about is the color description. It doesn't make any noise, so that's good. Instead, it shows you the name of the color. So if you activate the color picker tool, on the top you can see the name of the color, and that's a pretty cool feature, especially if you're like a colorblind person. This is very, very helpful. And speaking of colors, there have been some changes in colors as well. So if you go over to colors and then go to palettes, you will notice that now it comes with two sections: compact, as the usual one, and cards. If you click on cards, you will immediately notice that the color swatches are larger and they have the names on it. You can rename those swatches, just tap on the name and type whatever you like. And while color cards is the accessibility feature in Procreate and was designed to help vision impaired and colorblind people use color more easily in Procreate, I think I will be using those cards as well. Because the swatches are a lot bigger, it's easier to click on the swatch and you can even name the color however you want, so I think it's pretty cool. Okay, and the last update that we will go over today is the page assist. If you ever wanted to have a sketchbook in Procreate, well, your dream just came true, because now the page assist will allow you to have sort of like a sketchbook in the Procreate. To activate page assist, go to Actions, then Canvas, and turn on the page assist. Page assist interface will be now active, and you will notice pages at the bottom of the screen. You can add a new page, you can delete a page, you can duplicate a page, and it's just the sketchbook. Page assist is pretty cool, especially if you create stories with the specific storyline and every action should be on the new page. It's also perfect for comics. So it's pretty nice. And when your story is ready and you want to download it, you can now share it as a PDF file. Oh yeah, and that's also the new thing here in Procreate. Now you can share your files as PDF, and also now Procreate allows you to import PDF files directly into Procreate and mark them page by page in Page Assist. So here I have my PDF file which I want to import, and I can do it simply by drag and drop. So now my PDF file is in my library and I can open it, and it will actually take me to the Page Assist. You see, it's turned on. I can go through every page, I can scroll, just everything is there, and it's my full PDF. You can also import your PDF file to Procreate by airdropping. It's simple. You can simply import the file to Procreate just by finding Procreate. It will take a minute, but then it will open up in your library again.